There are times in life when it seems as though everyone else has a map and you're wandering without one. You look around and you see polished achievements, confident smiles, and stories that seem to move in straight lines. Meanwhile, your own path may feel full of detours, unanswered questions, and moments that don't make sense yet. What often goes unseen is that nearly every meaningful life is built this way. Growth rarely announces itself with fireworks. More often, it arrives quietly. It appears in the morning you get out of bed, despite feeling discouraged. It shows up in the conversation where you choose honesty over pretending. It lives in the small decision to try again after something didn't work the first time or the fifth. Your value has never depended on having all the answers. It has never been measured by how quickly you achieve your goals, how productive you are every day, or whether your journey looks like someone else's. Those things may matter in certain situations, but they are not the foundation of your worth. As a human being, you are allowed to be learning. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to outgrow old dreams and discover new ones. You are allowed to become someone different from the person you imagined you would be years ago. Life is not a straight line. It is a series of seasons. Some seasons are filled with movement and opportunity. Others are quieter, asking you to rest, reflect, and rebuild. Neither season is more important than the other. Trees don't apologize for winter, and people don't need to apologize for having chapters where they are healing instead of sprinting. One of the strongest things a person can do is continue moving forward without needing to feel fearless first. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act even when uncertainty is present. Every artist who shared their work, every scientist who pursued a difficult question, every entrepreneur who launched an idea, every teacher who stepped into a classroom, and every parent who tried their best has faced moments of doubt. The difference was not that they never questioned themselves. The difference was that they kept going anyway. There will always be voices that tell you what cannot be done. Sometimes those voices come from other people. Sometimes they come from your own thoughts. Those thoughts may sound convincing, but they are not always accurate. Our minds often confuse uncertainty with impossibility. Just because sometimes feel difficult does not mean it is beyond your reach. Just because progress feels slow does not mean progress isn't happening. Just because today wasn't your best day does not mean tomorrow cannot be different. Small steps deserve more respect than they usually receive. A single page read becomes a finished book. A few minutes of practice becomes years of skill. One kind conversation becomes a lifelong friendship. One healthy habit becomes a different way of living. Big transformations are not often a collection of tiny choices repeated with patience. Imagine planting a seed. For days, perhaps weeks, nothing appears above the ground. If you judged only by what you could see, you might believe nothing was happening. Yet beneath the surface, roots are forming. They are preparing the plant for the growth that will eventually become visible. Human growth works much the same way. There are seasons when you're developing strength that no one else can see. You may be learning patience, resilience, compassion, wisdom, confidence over self, discipline. These qualities not always produce immediate results, but they become the foundation upon which future achievements stand. The world often celebrates outcomes while overlooking preparation. Celebrate your preparation too. Celebrate the questions you're brave enough to ask. Celebrate the effort you put into becoming wiser. Celebrate every time you choose kindness, when impatience would have been easier. Celebrate every moment you decide to learn instead of giving up. Kindness is often misunderstood as softness or weakness. In reality, genuine kindness requires tremendous strength. It asks you to see humanity in others, even when life feels demanding. It encourages generosity without expecting immediate rewards. It reminds us that every person carries invisible stories we may never fully understand. The remarkable thing about kindness is that it expands rather than diminishes the person who offers it. When you encourage someone sincerely, you don't lose encouragement yourself. When you share hope, your own hope often grows stronger. When you make room for another person's success, your own possibilities don't become smaller. There is enough room for many people to flourish. Comparison can make this difficult to remember. It whispers that someone else's success somehow subtracts from yours. But life isn't a race with a single winner. Different people bloom at different times, under different circumstances with different gifts. The musician and the engineer contribute in different ways, and the writer contribute in different ways. The gardener and the scientist contribute in different ways. None of these lives is more meaningful, simply because they look different. Your contribution doesn't have to resemble anyone else's to matter. Sometimes the greatest impact you'll ever have won't be visible to you. Perhaps a kind word you spoke will stay with someone for years. Perhaps your persistence will inspire a younger person watching quietly from a distance. Perhaps your willingness to listen will help someone feel less alone. Not every meaningful achievement comes with applause. Some of the most important things we do leave invisible footprints. It's also worth remembering that perfection has never been a requirement for making a difference. History is full of imperfect people who accomplished meaningful things. Communities are built by ordinary individuals choosing to help one another. Families are strengthened by countless everyday acts of care. Friendships grow through consistency rather than perfection. You don't have to become flawless before your life has value. You already have opportunities to make the world around you a little brighter. There will be setbacks. That is simply part of being human. Plans will change. People will misunderstand you. Some opportunities will disappear. Mistakes will happen. None of these experiences automatically define your future. A chapter is not the whole story. Think about every person you admire. Chances are their journey included failures, uncertainty, rejection, disappointment, or unexpected turns. We often see only the polished ending without recognizing the difficult middle that came before it. Your difficult middle deserves patience. When life becomes challenging, it can be tempting to believe that struggle means you're moving in the wrong direction. Sometimes that is true, and changing course is wise. But many worthwhile goals ask us to develop skills, endurance, and perspective along the way. Difficult alone isn't proof that you're failing. Sometimes it's evidence that you're growing. into someone capable of carrying greater responsibilities. One beautiful aspect of being human is that we continue learning throughout our lives. No birthday marks the end of growth. Curiosity remains available whether you're 18 or 80. Every day offers opportunity to understand yourself, appreciate others more deeply, and develop new abilities. You are not confined to yesterday's version of yourself. You can learn, you can adapt, you can rebuild. You can forgive, you can begin again. These possibilities remain open more often than we imagine. Another quiet strength is gratitude, not because it erases hardship, but because it helps us notice what hardship cannot erase. A kind smile, a favorite song, fresh air after rain, and a meaningful conversation, a book that changes your perspective, the laughter of people you care about. Those moments don't solve every problem, they remind us that hope and difficulty can exist together. Hope is not pretending everything is easy. Hope is believing that today's circumstances are not only possibilities for tomorrow. As you continue your own journey, remember that success is richer than titles, numbers, or recognition. Success can also mean becoming more compassionate than you once were. It can mean responding with wisdom, where you once reacted with anger. It can mean building relationships rooted in trust. It can mean creating work that reflects your values. It can mean leaving people and places a little better than you found them. Those victories deserve celebration. Perhaps the most empowering realization is this: you don't need permission to grow into your potential. You don't need an animal's approval before pursuing something meaningful. You don't need every uncertainty resolved before taking the next step. You don't need to wait until you feel perfectly confident. Confidence often follows action, rather than preceding it. The next page of your story has not been written yet. That means possibilities still exist. New friendships are possible, new skills are possible, fresh ideas are possible. Healing is possible, unexpected opportunities are possible, quiet joy is possible, meaningful change is possible. Whatever goals matter to you, approach them with determination and patience. Let curiosity be stronger than fear. Let compassion guide your interactions. Let persistence carry you through ordinary days, when dramatic motivation is nowhere to be found. Remember that the person you become while pursuing a goal is often just as valuable as reaching the goal itself. You have the capacity to learn from experience, to contribute something uniquely your own, and to keep growing through every season of life. There is no need to have every answer today. What matters is continuing to ask thoughtful questions, remaining open to learn, and treating both yourself and others with dignity. May you recognize your own quiet strength. May you notice progress even when it arrives in small steps. May you remember that kindness is never wasted. May you trust that meaningful growth often begins long before it becomes visible. And whenever you wonder whether your effort matters, remember this simple truth. Every thoughtful action, every lesson learned, every moment of courage, and every act of compassion becomes part of the person you are becoming. That person is still unfolding, still learning, still capable of creating goodness in ways that neither you nor anyone else can fully predict. The future remains unwritten, and with every new day comes another opportunity to shape it with wisdom, resilience, generosity, and hope.